Hello everyone, and welcome to my 400 subscriber special to you. This is the Baby Vegeta tutorial video. This is a character that I see a lot of people struggling to use, a lot of people calling trash because he has no overly reliable cancels. Even though, well, you have this, of course. The universal. But where's the fun in that? So I wanted to let you all see and give you a demonstration on how I like to play this character, as well as show you some personal combos that I like to do. Fancy and optimal. Alright, so let's get to it. First off, we all know that this guy has absolutely zero cancels. Not even on that. Or on this. Or on this. Every single combo this guy has is lock-on animation. It locks you into the animation and there's no way to get out of it except for key canceling. People also tell me and complain this guy has no reliable infinites. Well, as I demonstrated to you earlier, he actually does have one reliable infinite. And another one that I figured out just earlier. Now the inputs are on the side of the screen, so watch carefully. This is his reliable infinite. It's a bit unorthodox, and it's a bit weird, but it is an infinite. And I will show you right now that it is an infinite. He is on guard from start. That is his most reliable infinite that you will ever do. Not only does it keep them standing, so their stamina recovery does not recover near as fast as it would if you were to, say, juggle them with this. That would make them get 3 bars of stamina really, really quick. But it keeps them standing. And as I'm going to show you right now, you can also, of course, go into this string. Although my personal favorite thing to do when on the ground, or let's see, now this is how you're going to do it on the ground. That's the optimal combo on the ground. Now, in the air, it's a little bit more complicated, and it requires you to master a certain tech with this guy. Now, this isn't just unique to Baby. Custom Jiren also has this. And of course, you can have it on your CAC. But this is the variant drive cancel. Now, it is quite simply just a block cancel. The timing is a little bit weird, but it's actually not too hard to do. It's the same thing as Crush Cannon, and the same thing as Tri-Beam before Dimps nerfed it. You can do all sorts of stuff with this, including set up new combo routes, such as this. Now, I can hear what you're thinking. But why not just do this? Why not just go into the key blast instead of spending a bar of key? Well, for one, it is easier to do this, but you can also, if you want to, set up mix-ups using his back hit. His back hit is actually quite unique. Not only does it have incredible range, even when not charged. Even when not charged, look at how much range this thing has. Yes, it's slow moving and it can be deflected, but the moment they deflect it, they're wide open to get hit by this. Or with your own T-stun. The simple mix-up there. It's a very common mix-up that I like to use in my gameplay when I use this guy. But the true power of Variant Drive is in this. See that? That was a true combo right there. That is an infinite that you can do with him, and you can loop this. Hold on a second. The timing can be just a little bit tricky. He does have infinite combos. You just need to learn how to do this. Now, I would not blame you if you were completely ignorant to this secret little tech here with this move. It is not something that anybody has done before, I don't think. The only person I can think of who actually discovered this back in the day, whenever Baby first came out, was Game Breaker God. Shout out to him, by the way. He actually discovered this before me. I actually learned this Variant Drive cancel from him. Now, it used to be a lot more versatile than this, and it used to be faster on the cancel, but they kinda nerfed it whenever they nerfed Variant Drive that one time, because, you know, people were complaining about getting infinite comboed all the freaking time. But back to the tutorial. That was one of his that was two of his infinites that I showed you. And of course, you can do stuff like this as well. Now, what I just did right there is I flipped the stick forward and hit the attack button again. Now, this I would not recommend doing outside of combo ending. Yes, I am fully aware that this instantaneously breaks through guard. But, sadly, you have to be at a certain distance to be able to even activate that. That is the minimal distance that you can be to activate this and actually hit it. But it is also incredibly slow on the draw, which means that a player that is looking out for it, or is just, you know, playing like a typical Xenoverse player, is just going to do this to you every single time you try and hit them with this. And as everybody knows, this type of movement has far more iframes than this. This damn near makes you untouchable. especially online. And this has absolutely no tracking, so I would never, ever recommend trying to guard break somebody with this unless they are a particularly stupid individual. But, yeah. That is one infinite that you can do. But the most advanced way to use Variant Drive, if your opponent is stubborn about vanishing, you can do stuff like that. Cancel that animation out as soon as they vanish off the ground, Variant Drive cancel again, and then get out of the way. It is a mix-up right there. But you also have this. Oh, hold on a sec. I actually did not mean stamina break right there. That is a stamina break setup, however, though I would never, ever recommend trying it online. It is very, very hard to do, especially online because, you know, Dips thought it would be a good idea to make hitboxes increase in size depending on the amount of lag present. And in Xenoverse 2, this game, unfortunately, has unholy amounts of lag. Even when somebody is a 3-bar, just a 3-bar connection is enough to make this game glitch. It lags so bad. But everybody knows that. Now I'm going to show you the optimal combo with this. Oh! He was actually able to snap vanish out of that. I'm surprised. There's all sorts of stuff that you can do, but it opens so many combo routes, along with setting up infinites, and you can actually apply some pretty decent guard pressure to somebody who just keeps trying to block everything. If they try and constantly block mash, you can unleash it upon them without canceling it, of course. Or, like I said, if they are particularly stupid, you can hit them with this. Though, like I said, would never ever recommend doing it, because it is just simply not a good move. Now, the optimal combo that I would do... Oh, hold on a sec. The optimum combo that I would do with this guy is that. And I will continue the combo if you do not vanish. Look at how much damage that does if you don't vanish. That's actually a really, really good optimal combo. Now, what I was trying to show you to you earlier that is a way to set that up. And like I showed you earlier, you can also set it up like this. That's pretty much the only time you ever want to use that variation of Variant Drive. Although, it's not really recommended unless your opponent's at low health. Because if they vanish as you do this, they're going to get behind you and they are going to have the opportunity to stamina break you because of how long you were stuck in this animation. By like I said, would not recommend doing a lot. It's just not a good skill. And of course, he's got this. And there's a trick that you can do with this as well. If you lock off, shoot it, and then lock back on, it will go back and hit them. This is a good way to set up pressure. Your opponent's trying to constantly stay out of your reach. What I like to do is after a clash, which happens quite frequently online, I will quickly descend, unlock, and then shoot this to set up pressure. You gotta do it kind of fast, though. Excuse me? Okay, there we go. Yeah, you gotta kind of do it fast. Now, personally, I would never ever recommend doing this combo outside of this. And some people might think this is cheap, but personally, it's his only setup for this that is completely inescapable, and it's the only way to really scare your opponent with this guy. If you have the key, and if you are at this distance on the map here, preferably the ground, this is an unvanishable. This will scare your opponent. This will make them regret ever being hit by this spring. It sets up a lot more pressure and a lot more mind games as a result. Yeah, that's pretty much the optimal. That's pretty much the optimal ultimate combo that I would do. And of course, you can also do this if you so desire. But a Revenge Death Ball is ultimately going to be the better option, because not only does it do more damage, but it is faster, and like I said, it just does more damage, so it's going to scare your opponent shitless. If they know that you can hit them with that in an unvanishable combo string, they will never hesitate to vanish this. And if they do not hesitate to vanish this, you can make yourself safe. Create pressure with variant drive. Create pressure with reverse shot. All sorts of things. All sorts of mind games that you can perform with this. Yes, I know, there are going to be some people in the comment section that are going to tell me, but this isn't a traditional fighting game. You can't do mind games in a game like this. This game is for babies. And I'm just like, dude, mind games exist in every single video game that has competitive play. That's just... It's literally just a term that is used to describe outsmarting your opponent. Getting into your opponent's head. Trying to predict what they're going to do. Forcing them to do something stupid. Or predictable. Alright, now I'm going to show you his stamina breaks. Put him on guard from start. Of course, he has this. That's just 2 heavies. And of course, he also has this. A single heavy, but basically every character can do that. He has 3 heavies. 4 heavies. That. This. Hold on. If you don't believe me. There you go. But you can also do it like this if you so desire. Although your opponent's going to get a lot more stamina back if you hit them with this combo. Oh, hold on a second. I messed up. You actually can heavy stamina break after this. Not just light stamina break. Let me see if I can perform it. Though they might have patched this out, admittedly. Nope, it's still there. Yep, that's a heavy stamina break setup right there. But there is another way that you can do this, and that is... But you can also do it like this. And that does combo all the time. Now, when you're in the air, offline it will not work. But online, if you hit somebody with this, it can also guard break, of course. It could also be a guard break setup. There are only 2 characters in the game that I know can do this, and that is Baby and Janemba. That's pretty much the only 2 characters that I know that can actually combo into a fully charged hit in the middle of block spins. Now, what I like to do stamina break wise, and this is just me, this is something that I like to do, plain and simple, because I like to be as fancy and flashy as possible. Now, you don't have to do this, of course, but this is the way I like to do it. Get on the ground. After 3 heavies, I like to go directly into that. Or... hold on. Go directly into that. Very simple, optimal combo. And if it doesn't kill, of course, when you're that close with Revenge Death Ball, you can immediately fly in and continue a combo. Now, if you really want to frustrate your opponent, this is not the way to do it. This is the way to do it. And of course, you can make yourself safe by immediately canceling with a key blast. So if your opponent vanishes like Goku did right there, predict it, and then do this. Just get right behind it as soon as he vanishes. I was trying to do something right there. I was trying to do something right there. He's now. I will say this right now. He is one of my favorite casts in the game because of these little fancy things that you can do with him. And you can create an infinite out of this. You can create an infinite out of this, but I don't know why you'd want to do it, other than to just be really, really, really annoying. Really annoying and really disrespectful. Because if you are honestly going to do this to your opponent, you have zero respect for them. Now I'm gonna show you another stamina break combo that I like to do. Hold on a sec. Goku get down on the ground. Baby is best on the ground. That is where he shines. That's also a really cool combo that I like to do. Now, of course, it's pretty easy to do this. All you've got to do is, as soon as you variant drive cancel, immediately unlock, flick your stick the opposite direction, then lock back on, and back hit. It's as simple as that. And because his back hit has so much range, it is probably the longest ranged back hit in the game, I'm convinced. And if you really want to be disrespectful, you can also do this. You can also do stuff like that. Fully charge that back hit. You fully charge that back hit. Be as disrespectful as possible. He's got a lot of disrespectful combos that you can do. That one's probably the most disrespectful thing you can do. No, I would not recommend doing this at all online, because that sometimes happens. Sometimes, whenever you're at that angle, it can just screw your camera up if you try and unlock. But it's also not recommended because look at how fast their stamina comes back whenever they're hit by the final hit of this combo. Baby is one of the characters in the game that actually has a balanced, highest damaging combo. And that is quite simply because most characters that have high damaging combos that they can just loop over and over and over again and stun your stamina recovery. This guy, however, does not have that luxury. Whenever you hit somebody with his highest damaging combos, they recover stamina very fast. Outside of this one, that's pretty much the only way that that one. Now this one doesn't recover stamina very well. Of course, you can loop that with variant drive or with this. Set up pressure like that if they don't want to move, or if they're just stuck trying to do this all day like a good amount of people do. I can't get over that. It's just a stupid mechanic. that's pretty much the most advanced things I know with this guy. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and share the video. And thank you all so much for 400 subscribers. I never thought I would get that many, especially in the time that it's happened. So I can't thank you all enough. I hope this suffices, and I hope this helps people who want to use this character. Actually, I hope these tips help you use this character a little bit more efficiently. And give you some ideas to really style on your opponent. You know, he's a character that is low-key very, very fun to play once you know these techs. These techniques are what make babies good. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. See ya!